Okay, Mr. Chigozie, still on Sunday Igboho's matter. His house has been invaded by the Nigerian army, as the news says. Now the question is, do you think it's fair to accuse the federal government of stooping so low to attack Sunday Igboho?
That is what I just said. A leopard cannot change its spot. That is what Nigeria is known for. The invasion of Sunday Igboho's house by the military operatives is not a surprise. It's not a new news. To me, this, if you go through the history, you can see many people have been killed, many people's rights of expression, rights of identity has been trampled upon. So Sunday Igboho will not be an exception. So as far as Nigeria is concerned, they are lawless. They have no respect for fundamental human rights. Of course, we are more in military regime, in practice. And it's not a surprise when you have somebody like Muhammad Buhari manning the position of this country. And it's not a surprise to me. We are yet to see the worst. I think Sunday Igboho is fortunate not to have been lynched or hacked to death. He escaped this, and of course, they may be coming for him the next time. So the government of this country, unfortunately, are the greatest abuser of human rights. They have no respect to human life and the sanctity of life. So as long as this system continues, as long as we condone this system, there will be no peace for everyone. When they are done with Sunday Igboho, probably they will come for I and you. So we shouldn't wait for that time. We continue to speak out, we continue to talk to the government and everyone that cares that this is a state of emergency. How is it that a man in a democratic setting, you cannot, the right of expression, the right to live is no longer guaranteed by the state itself? It's quite unfortunate, my sister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie. So, reviewing the video of the Benue State Governor Samuel Otom. So, what do you see? What do you think?
Yes, the Benue State Governor has led the example that everyone should follow. Yes, he understood by virtue of his position as the chief security of the state. He has seen something beyond what we can see. So he has access to informations, classical informations, and which is not available to the public. So when he is saying, he's speaking from an informed mind. He's not just saying like an average man on the streets. Of course, he narrowly escaped assassination. Even in his own state, he has to scurry for safety for over 1.5 kilometers. A man who should be the chief security, but is not in control of his own states. You see, so he receives the order from the military. Architecture is structured in such a way that even the governor, who is the executive or the chief security of the state, cannot command a fly without taking an order from the federal Abuja. Is that how a system should be run? You can't command a fly, not even a police. Police commissioners are not loyal to the governor. They must receive an order from the IG of police, who probably might be drinking or sipping tea. And he will tell you, so wait until I'm done. You see, where you need to take a proactive action. You can see the dilemma we found ourselves. Even the governor is not safe. That's why he's crying out.
Okay, so the youth of Benue State, the security networks in Benue State, they made mention in the video that they are not allowed to go on with armed forces, with cutlass and the rest of them. Do you think the governor have the power to give them back all of this weapons they need?
They don't need the governor to recover them. Why? Because when people are pushed to the wall, there is that tendency for them to react violently. They have taken time, they have obeyed the governor, they have sued for peace, and unfortunately, they are becoming victims of the circumstances. They lay down their arms, of course, in response to the governor's negotiation, in response to governor's appeal, but not knowing that that was the greatest mistake they ever made. That will cost them not just their life, the life of their loved ones, that will cost them even their ancestral home. If they have known, they wouldn't have yielded to such a appeal. But now they are paying a very costly price. How could you allow a section of the country who are just aliens, the Fulanis? They are just moving around, they have no place to settle. You want to overrun the indigene of that state, of those regions. You see, at the expense of their life and posterity. So, and you allow a group to carry AK-47 with their cattle, destroying, devastating their homeland, their farms, and you left them at the mercy of hunger. You left them virtually with nothing. Why you go back to market and sell your cow and make the money for yourself? Go back and buy foodstuff. Why the people you destroy their farmland has no money to get foodstuff for the family, for the society, community, where you have destroyed? And you go about with AK-47. Why? The government has created that lacuna. That has created such unfortunate opportunity for those people, the herdsmen, to ravage the community. Probably that could be a conspiracy of silence. And there's no way the people can defend themselves with bare hands. It has never been done. So it is is a priority. It is the rights of every man that is living to protect his own life. We are chief security of ourselves. So the Benue youths have come up to that understanding that we can no longer rely on the governor, who is not even safe himself. Being the chief security is not safe. So why should we trust on someone, our safety on someone who is not safe himself?
So you agree they go on self-defense?
Yeah, defense, that is what the chief of defense said. Everybody should resort to self-defense. That is what the chief of defense said. And I think that is the way forward, because when you have a gun and I have a gun, we sue for peace.
How do everybody go on self-defense when they are not even allowed to go about with a cutlass, a gun?
You are not allowed to go about it. That is unfortunate, the dilemma we found ourselves. In a normal sense, nobody should go about arms, bearing arms. You can see the level of profile. The more arms are coming in Nigeria. What are those arms for? You see, that depicts that we are at full war. And the other way, if the governors could no longer protect you, if the security operatives are now playing partisan politics with issue of security, favoring a particular entity or ethnicity, then what you are left with no option than to resort to self-defense, which is the ultimate right of any living being, given to us by God first, which supersedes the law of every state, the right to live. It's not just given by the state law. It's given by the nature, God himself. So I think you have the right to protect yourself and your people. That's why they are resorting to whatever means that will keep them safe, that will keep their posterity and their ancestral home safe. And I think you don't blame them for that.
Yes, so Governor Autumn's speech, he said President is working for Fulanis to take over Nigeria. What do you think
Absolutely right. Because I listened to that statement. He said he have exhausted every possible means within him to relate, to talk to the government, the president, and all have proved abortive. All the effort proves abortive. I saved that conspiracy of silence on the part of the governor, of the president, depicts that he has a finger in what is happening, because the former head of state, in the person of Abacha, said that if crisis persists, if there is civil unrest that persisted beyond 24 hours, then you understand that the hand of the government is in it. So the Fulanis wouldn't have been ravaging the entire country with remarkable ease, unabetted, unchecked, without the insiders, those within the corridor of power, which of course the president himself is, which of course is the grand patron of the Mieti Allah, the Fulani Association. So he should be the first suspect. So the governor is right in what he's saying, because he has informations, classical informations available to him regarding this mayhem that is ravaging the entire nation, and nobody is spared. This is before it was just the common men on the streets, but now it's getting to the big, the elites and people that are well without. So nobody is now exempted from what is happening. The horrible rain is coming, and there will be no hiding place for anyone. We must face it once and for all, and there is no time but now.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so on to the next. We have the IPOB and ESN commander was killed alongside 6 suspected IPOB members by the Nigerian army. Meanwhile, the army and the police team also lost 4 officers during the gun battle. This happened in our Mama village in Olu East local government area in Imo State. So what's your view as regards this attack?
I think I don't agree with that position, with that reportage. I think to the contrary, the information available to me suggests that the military on the part of the Nigerian security operatives lost more casualties. So they have been a victim of these circumstances, unfortunately. Of course, it's not an IPOB commander, well, it's a unit commander anyway. I think the IPOB and the ESN have so many commanders. If one commander fails, it's an opportunity for another one to rise. And you can see if such a man with life, with vibrancy, with all elegancy, with all future can lay down his life for this struggle, it means we have not seen the worst yet. You see, if such a man with very young and vibrant, very full of life, can lay down his life for his people, to ensure that his people are safe, the territory of his region are safe, then Nigeria have lost the battle. Because every average man from the eastern region, or the eastern region, understood that they don't belong to Nigeria. A man of that caliber, in the person of a consul, could consider laying down his life for the restoration of the sovereignty of the Biafran nation. I think the government of Nigeria should have a rethink, because we have over millions, tens of millions of his like who are not giving in, who already have signed their death warrant, and that should serve as a warning to the Nigerian states. I am not saying that they shouldn't do otherwise, but then the handwriting on the wall suggests that things are no longer at ease.
So do you think his death is also related to um the governor of Imo State's house being burnt down?
Yes, of course. The government itself admitted that what is going on in Imo State are politically motivated. Then why should the government resort to fighting the ESN, whose primary objective is to protect life and property within the region? And which is quite unfortunate. So, of course, the people felt aggrieved for losing their loved one. And you don't expect anything different from that. And we are not yet seeing the worst. So let me not go beyond what I don't know yet. So the people who felt aggrieved, who felt, bereaved, might not take it lightly. And whatever they do in revenge is yet unknown to me, even as a person. So we are yet in for something unimaginable, and it might not all go well, it might not end up well, even with the political elites. So it's high time they realize the fact that people are no longer happy and they should do the needful. I think it's high time the government himself called for referendum, where people decide either to continue within the Nigerian state or to part their separate ways, so that everybody can sue for peace. We can face our fate and either move on, whatever happens to us or the regions that is left for them. But the opportunity must be created consciously and deliberately by the federal government of Nigeria to give people an opportunity to decide their continuity under this current system. Otherwise, I tell you from what is going on, Nigeria will never have peace.
So accepting negotiation, do you think the government is going to see it as a sign of weakness on your own side?
Negotiation on what parts? On what basis?
Like them getting a referendum or having a sit down to talk about the nation's affairs.
So you can never have a sit down on this current dispensation, configuration, on this current system. The North and the privileged political elites, those within the corridor of power, will not allow it because they will be losing out totally. So the issue of restructuring conference, national sovereign conference, is out of it as far as the situation we are in. The only remedy or the only panacea to this devastating problem is referendum. Let people decide where they want to belong to. If they don't want to, it's not a crime. Nigeria, being a signatory to United Nations, understood the parts of the charter which recognize self-determination. So why should they be afraid? It's what they believe, is what they are signatory to. So they should allow the people the choice to decide where they belong to, the choice of identity. You can't force it or lord it over to me. Even with all the arsenals at your disposal, people will continue to revolt until attention is given to them, until their cravings is being met. That is the only way out of this myriads of problems bedeviling the Nigerian state. And I think the governors or the president should heed to this advice. It's a noble advice from me. They should call for a referendum, because national sovereign conference, there is no time. Wherever you may have it, people might blow their up. So calling for national sovereign conference is just like risking the life of people, because we have gone beyond that level. The level we are now is you either do it now in peace or we end up in pieces.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie.